Hello, everybody. Today we are showing featured entries from the April Art Dare, and we are making the July Art Dare announcement. If you would like to grow as an artist and you can't take an art class, we've got everything you need here at Art Prof: critiques, tutorials, professional development, and workshops. The April Art Dare was to create artwork with anything except your dominant hand. And so the challenge was to create a 2D or 3D artwork using a part of your body, but you couldn't use your dominant hand. So this is quite a challenge. And this was inspired by Lauren, who I think has really recovered quite a bit from her hand surgery. So the first artist we have is Madeline, and Madeline says that she enjoyed the challenge and actually made a few more using my left hand, and explains favorite part was seeing how different the brush strokes look in comparison to my right-handed paintings. Well, what do you think about the brushwork, Mia?
Well, I think that painting is a really great technique for this specific challenge because I myself have tried using pen or very small detail-oriented materials with my non-dominant hand, and have struggled a lot trying to even, remotely get it to the way my dominant hand looks. So I think that painting's very smart because you can work very big and gesturally and sort of go mark to mark instead of stitch to stitch, like really small. And it feels very impressionist to me. I think that no matter what the marks themselves look like, you're working directionally and you're putting down the proper colors. You're thinking a lot about color mixing. So I think it's great.
I know for me, it took a long time to feel like I could loosen up with my brushwork, because when I first started doing oil painting, I was really tight. I mean, I was more drawing with the brush, I wasn't really painting. And so I think in painting, sometimes we aren't as loose as we'd like to be. And so I really like this prompt for painting because you have to loosen up. You can't control things the way you normally do. And I just think all of these strokes, we can see you just put them down and they feel so fresh and spontaneous. Mia, what do you think about the use of the color?
I think that the color is wonderful. I love the contrast between the beautiful, rich turquoisey blue greens in the stem and that vibrant white background. I also really like how you can see through the white background on the corners of the canvas. I think the underpainting is very beautiful. I can tell you're leaving bits of that underlayer exposed through the work, which I find very charming. So I think that while the painting application is very spontaneous, your color choice is very intentional. So the two balance out very, very nicely.
Yeah, like at the bottom, this is more a muted turquoise that we're looking at. And then up here, we get brighter, more intense turquoise. And then up here, the value increases and it also gets a little bit muddier. So we're getting a really excellent range of saturation. And people are also noting 7A likes the round canvas, and Katz really likes the water in the cup. And welcome, M, to your first live stream. I love it when people are here for the first time. And Anna says, brushwork is so luscious. And Nancy says, so beautiful. I love how the sunflowers go off of the canvas. Excellent. Okay, next artist we're going to look at, and I'm really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Bosch Plasker. And Bosch actually did a whole bunch of pieces. And you know what's wonderful is Bosch has a YouTube channel and actually made 2 videos about creating these pieces. And so he explains, due to the ridiculousness of painting with my right foot, left hand, I set up 2 equally ridiculous still lives and made 2 YouTube videos documenting the thought process. So if you guys want to see the videos, we did put Bosch's YouTube link in the video description below. And so here, we're not just seeing the artwork, we're seeing how it actually happened. What do you think, Mia?
I mean, it feels so ridiculous. It's one of those pieces that I think subject and application technique are both equally as silly and nonsensical. So I think that, again, they complement each other very well. And again, I think that painting is such a great way to go about it because we get a sort of charming mess in this piece. And underwear is just such a funny subject matter for that to come across in.
I'm wondering, Bosch, you'll have to answer for us, but whether you used a pellet knife or if you just mixed with your brush, because I was just thinking, oh man, the mixing part, I feel like that would be harder than the actual, like physically harder than the paint application.
I know my feet would be like covered in paint.
Great challenge. And what do you think about the brushwork, Mia?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love seeing the up close images, the stills. It really looks like I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and a lot of other works that people use their dominant hand making. So congrats to you. Look at all the variation in the colors as well. It's just masterfully done.
I love this brushstroke. It's so fresh. Looks like it just got through down on the canvas. And we also have this pineapple still life as well, which was painted with Bosch's left arm. And you can see the progression of this. I'm like, dude, you're using your I'm like, this looks really good. Like, it's amazing what you were able to accomplish. My left hand is like useless. Like, it can't do anything.
I can't eat soup with my left hand, to be honest. Like I can, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Bosch is here live in the chat. And if you could tell me how to pronounce your name, because I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's saying, I mostly pre-mixed lumps of paint and then mixed with my feet where those were inefficient. There was quite some randomness to it. I think mostly it's just giving up control. And as a control freak, I have trouble doing that. But sometimes our artwork really needs that. It needs us to relinquish control and let the material speak for itself. I mean, are you like me? Are you a control freak?
Yeah. I'm trying to heal myself there, like through collage and abstraction, and bit by bit, I'm trying to get better. But this would be such a fun exercise to really push my boundaries.
Yeah, and I just love that you documented this. That is amazing. Yeah, like Kat saying, non-dominant hand is good for the computer mouse. That's about it. I can't even do that. Like this arm, I don't even know what it does all day. So fantastic. All right, let's go to the next artist, Priya. And Priya, again, we're talking about relinquishing control, as Priya was talking about, left non-dominant hand, started using hand muscles I didn't know I had. So this is a real physical challenge. Priya overcame the discomfort and discovered that her left hand was a better painter because it was looser. And it was a great exercise. Priya explains, not worrying about creating good art. I noticed I was using my left hand more when doing the dishes or cleaning the home. How cool. Yeah, decided that the brush in the mouth wasn't so fun. But we do have the left dominant, non-dominant hand. So we have a lot of pieces from Priya. A lot of these are showing our free reference photo collection. I love it when you guys use our resources. What do you think, Mia?
These are insane to like that you've done these with your non-dominant hand. The proportions alone feel so accurate to me. And I know that's something I struggle with a lot is any type of accuracy using my non-dominant hand. So it's just really nice because it's accurate, but it still retains a lot of that spontaneity that we've been talking about with the non-dominant hand. I also like in your statement, you said that you were sketching on lots of like backings of sketches and like
yeah.
And that's something I really like too, because it must take some of that pressure off to make something so perfect or stand alone. So you just probably made a bunch of stuff and now you're better off because of it. So nice work.
Aren't you the person who told me you use crappy brushes on purpose?
Yeah. I tend to use very not so great art materials because it takes the pressure off, like I said, and I feel more free to experiment and end up with something crazy.
So tell me in the chat, do you guys ever do things in your processes where you're intentionally giving yourself some sort of change, where you have to loosen up or you have to engage with color? I mean, for me, markers was really helpful in terms of color, because in paint, I could just mix until it turned mud, which I did a lot. But with markers, they're so direct and the color is right there. So I love the marks in these marker drawings, Priya. There's so much energy to them. If we go back and we look at this one, I love those huge strokes in the clothing, and then this really, I guess, dense, dramatic strokes that are in the face, I think are really excellent. And we also have another marker piece here. I love the layering of this. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it feels dimensional. It feels like I'm being pushed back in space. It's really interesting. And I like the color choice too. I feel like you're mixing a nice yellow ochre in this middle big section right there.
Right
I
here.
really like it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a touch green. And that's only happening because you're layering the gray on top. I mean, you might think, oh, I need to put blue over it, but you don't. I mean, grays actually, I've noticed in markers, there's such a range of colors. Like some of the grays look blue and some of them look practically like burnt sienna if you're looking really carefully. So that's a great area of layering. And we also have people sharing some of the things when they get into an art funk. Like M says, I go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of cheap supplies, and I find it totally takes the pressure off, and I end up making better art. Nancy says, I intentionally make messy art, just smushing paint around. So relaxing. I know a lot of artists will actually save the paint after they're done painting and make another painting with that. Have you ever done that before, Mia?
I haven't done that. I've tried multiple times to keep a second painting going. I use my palette for an original painting, and then I'll just kind of have a trash painting beside it that I use the excess on. But I end up losing focus and never actually doing anything with the second painting.
Well, Neurotic says uses Procreate for the same reason. And Anna says, sometimes when I'm frustrated with a painting, I'll throw a glob of paint at the painting to intentionally screw it up. It forces me to make different choices. Wow, I don't know that I have the guts to do that. Like yesterday, the painting I'm working on, I spilled water on it. Like not that much. It was fine, but there were like drips going down. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack. But actually, a lot of it was acrylic. It's just I had some watercolor pencil on it, and that was very stressful. 7A says sketchbooks are safe creative spaces that have become my art therapy. I mean, I call my sketchbook my big dump. Like it's really not pretty, but it's a place that I can just mess around with things. And Katz also agrees. Procreate is a fantastic place to play because you can't use up materials. Well, you've used Procreate. Have you ever seen it that way, Mia?
Yeah, I think I use Procreate a lot for sketching and the behind the scenes sort of planning processes, because it feels like I go through so many different iterations and bad ideas there. And you're right, like you don't have to worry about taking up a lot of physical space with scraps of paper or like burning through your pens. So I think it's very convenient as a tool. Yeah.
Why do you think I don't use pens? I can't deal with replacing my Micron once every 2 weeks.
I don't like microns. I like those cheap ballpoint motel pens
Yes,
that you just
told me
from the front desk. They're always really great. Steal from hotels.
We need to make a reel about that. We need to have you walking into a hotel.
I was once really fast. I was once standing at a front desk at a hotel checking in, and I just kept taking I took 4 pens as she was like talking to me. She didn't notice.
Oh my God.
Tub. It was a huge tub of pens. I swear I wouldn't have done that if there was only like 10, but there was 100. It was begging me to take some.
Back when you were doing those really intricate ballpoint pen drawings, so I assume you went through a lot.
I went through 2.
You did?
They're durable. Hotel pens, they're built different. I promise.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Okay, well, you guys, next time you go to a hotel, snag a couple pens because you might need them. We also have these two pieces, this portrait, which I'm guessing looks like there's maybe some watercolor. And we also have this piece, and this is my favorite piece that Priya did. Isn't the light so luminous?
It really does. It looks like a monotype, honestly, like printmaking style. And it's so tender. It feels like I'm looking into somebody's memory.
Yeah, and I love the gesture of the figures as well. It's a really wonderful scene you put together, Priya. Okay, everybody, we've got some prizes to give out. The honorable mention goes to Priya. Congratulations on the honorable mention, and the prize goes to Bosch. So, congratulations, everybody. I just love all the conversations we have here in the Discord. Just seeing all month what people are up to, sharing ideas is really fantastic. So, great job, everybody. All right, let's talk about the June Art Dare. We are going to challenge all of you to create an artwork with eyes, 2D or 3D, one eye, 50 eyes. Maybe you want to draw Argus, the god that was covered in eyeballs, something like that. Mia, why do you think that we have this obsession with eyes? Because I know exactly what that's like. I love painting eyes. Why is it so fun?
I think that there's a million ways to paint eyes, and they're all very intriguing. And I think that it's like that artist. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. You'll tell me in the comments, but the Big Eyes painter.
Oh, Margaret. Oh my God,
Keen?
what's her last name? Keen, Margaret Keen.
Yes.
Yeah, we figured it out. We needed two brains.
Nice. But yeah, it's sort of like what she said, where, I mean, it's been said before, but it's the window to the soul. You see almost yourself reflected back in them. It's very intimate to really study someone else's eye. And so I think that it's just going to be a never-ending pool of inspiration for artists throughout time. That's me.
Mia says. Just as I'm sketching Mia, can't get the eyes right. Well, we'd love to see that when you are finished at some point. Well, this piece really interests me, Mia, because usually we look to the eye for eye contact. It's a way to really get to know somebody. Although I know some people find eye contact really stressful. So tell us in the chat, what's your deal with eye contact? I used to use it a lot when I was teaching. I would stare down students. It was very intimidating. I mean, not like intentionally stare them down, but I would like always try to make eye contact when I talk to them, because you really are demanding someone's attention when you do that. And I did find it was helpful in terms of getting students to like really be engaged. But this is a very different portrait because you've obscured the eyes. So tell me about that. How did you make that decision?
Well, this was interesting. I was learning a new media, oil pastel. I had done it maybe once before in high school, but this was when I really tried to make a piece with it. And it was also my first attempt in many years of doing a self-portrait from life. So I was looking in a mirror and I was trying to tackle these two things that felt very new. And I think that a lot of my looking at myself and turning myself into an object that I had to reimagine on this piece of paper, it sort of the act of doing that sort of obscured myself as a person in my own brain, which feels very deep to say, but
yes, it is. It's super deep.
Yeah, it felt like I was getting to know myself again. And then as the piece, developed, I realized that maybe I don't know this person's on the paper as well as I think I do. So the eyes being obscured is definitely part of that theme.
So Anna has a question. Are the eyes supposed to be part of the work or the dominant feature? Can be either. So the eyes can be tiny. If you want to make them two little dots in the background, that's fine. But you can make a piece that's about eyes. On the other hand, sometimes eyes are just part of the thing that you're doing. I know a lot of people like to practice drawing eyes. So we're not saying that you have to make a full-fledged artwork like what you see here. If you want to just say, hey, I'm just going to paint eye studies for the rest of the month, that's another good way to go about do it, because actually we have a couple tutorials on painting eyes. And so Alex Rowe, who used to be TA here, he used this as a complementary color underpainting exercise. And the eye just happened to be the thing that he was painting. I've done a couple watercolor demos as well. This is my very sad Procreate eye. It's really bad. I'm so bad at digital. But the point is, eyes don't have to have meaning, right? They can just be, I'm just drawing them. It's fun.
Yeah, I think they're a great subject matter to study. I don't know. I think we see portraits of eyes everywhere. And I think that there is, the standard sort of Instagram format eye of like the type of eye drawing that goes viral all the time. But I do think that there's a way to do it that's very rich and wonderful and conceptual. So it could be anywhere in that spectrum.
And your eyes do not need to be realistic. I mean, the eyes here are very much reduced to just 4 lines to make these eyes. And so nobody here should feel like, oh, we need to draw anatomically correct eyes. I mean, you can see how exaggerated these are. And then what do you think of the eyes here? This was at the Getty Villa, Mia.
Is this about over consuming?
No. Can anybody guess who this is? We'll give you brownie points if you can figure it out. But let's take a look at some of the comments. Karis, who says, I'm autistic, can't stand eye contact. It's way too intense for me. I think I really don't like it when it's somebody in public that I don't know. You know, when you just like randomly make eye contact with somebody like that, I really don't like. But I do like it if I want to like really engage with somebody. But of course, it depends on the person and the situation. Manette says, do they have to be open eyes? What about just eye sockets, missing eyes? Yeah, I like that.
The
It's
absence
the
of
absence
the eye. Yeah.
of the eyes. And Jane says, I've realized I have trouble making eye contact these days more than I used to, consciously trying to improve since I'm a leader at work. Oh, yeah, if you're in charge, you've got to have that eye contact. If you're not in charge, it's a little bit easier to not have to do that. All right, who guessed it? Yes, generic name, Hair of Medusa.
Nice.
You didn't catch it, Mia?
I really did. I was so focused on the tongue and the billions of teeth that I just ignored the hair. Yeah.
Well, if you don't know, Medusa is somebody, if she looks at somebody, they turn to stone. So there, we have very powerful eyes there. And I love these Greek masks. They're meant to be extremely dramatic. And, you know, if you guys want to do a 3D piece, I think that'd be super fun. And this is a boxer from ancient Rome. I mean, I think he looks sort of like
oh, that's awesome. The way they show the broken nose and that's awesome. Yeah.
That's just fantastic. So there's a lot of ways you guys can go about doing this. And actually a question here from Jane, do they have to be human eyes, animals? Oh, any type of eye you want. It could be octopus eyes for whatever you want. If you want to make something that's a basket of eyeballs, I mean, go for it. I think what's fun about this prompt is that it is very flexible, but I think it does give it focus. Like, Mia, if you had this prompt, would you do something more fantastical or would you want to use it to practice anatomy or something?
Well, okay. The first thing that comes to my head is recently I've been trying to convey the face with just subtle color shifts. So I might try and do a series of more abstracted faces so that we still can get a sense of the human, but maybe with the only like the bare necessities. Or maybe I would just do like an entire poster of all the different colors of eyes that are possibly around. And it could be like a beautiful eye poster.
Well, we do have a question here from Neil, who wants to know if Aaron Tveit made eye contact with me at the Soraya concert in LA, which, by the way, I have this picture on my desktop. Do you guys see where I am? Look, that's me.
Can you zoom into your face?
Can I? I mean, I'm not really doing anything that exciting. Hang on a sec. Oh, is it not letting me? Oh, no, there we go. There I am.
You look so happy.
Yeah, but this is, I wasn't hyperventilating. I was sort of hyperventilating after he sang Roxanne. But no, he did not make eye contact, Neil, because he's so into the music. So unfortunately, I did not get that. But I have this picture on my desktop and I look at it every now and then. Yes. So anyway, welcome to my life. It's very exciting. Well, Lisa says brainstorming may be interesting for this one. So would you recommend doing some brainstorming for this, Mia? Because it is such a big topic.
I think it's a huge topic. I think that I love jumping into little things first and then expanding into something bigger. So if you just take some sketchbook time and plan and just doodle and see what it inspires, then you can jump off of that.
No, we don't know. We don't have any confirmation, 7A, if Aaron Tveit got my bloody head sculpture. We don't know yet. And I need to make this my mission in life now. I need to find out somehow. So we'll see. If I go to enough concerts, numbers wise, it's got to happen at some point. So I just got to go to enough concerts. Karasu is asking, would some kind of eye-related horror art be okay? Oh yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. We do have guidelines in our Discord server regarding what you can post. I would just keep in mind we are a family-friendly server. And what I do ask people to do is, if you're not sure, post with a spoiler. So that way people know. Yeah, Manette's talking about horror fairy tales. In the grim version of Cinderella, the evil stepsisters get their eyes picked out by birds. Oh man, that's like really, really intense. Well, Mia, what do you think about this? Because this is something Kat has done in a lot of her comics, where she has the eyes actually touching each other. And it's very simple, but I don't see people doing this a lot, actually.
I think that something I love about comics and graphic novel and animation is the way that they play with style and in features like this. And Kat is so good at it in all of her characters. So I think that it's a way to personalize the drawing, and it's just a very interesting visual metaphor as well. So I think it's neat. I think style is something that you can definitely play with eyes. Sometimes I just do a circle for an eye if I'm doing little cartoons, and it's just as effective.
2 dots, right? That's all you need. Basically.
Real.
Well, Niraj Nation says eyes speak when the mouth is silent. Yeah, that's definitely a great place to get started. I mean, what sort of startles me about the way Kat does the eyes in this one is the pupils. I mean, most of us think about pupils as this very clear-cut circle. I mean, hers are almost like pyramids in a way. Isn't that so unusual and different?
Yeah, it's sort of jarring. Like when I first saw this, I was like, oh, what a striking figure. And I don't know, it just sucks you in immediately into the face, which is like the well, it's not the heart of the person, because the heart is the heart of the person, but it's the it's like the target of the drawing. So I don't know, I thought it was such an effective way to draw focus to the character.
I like how you reasoned through that.
Yeah.
Right in front of us. It's fantastic. Well, so Nancy says, I need to work on eye expression. I'm totally down for doing some eye studies this month. Well, Mia, do you have any tips if somebody wants to do a study as opposed to Medusa or whatever character? What would you suggest? Because they're challenging to do, and I work with people about how to do the anatomical structure, but it's hard.
Something that I thought was fun that I was practicing a little while was finding different celebrities or actors that their eyes have a lot of life or emotion to them, like Twiggy, or I was doing lots of like Evan Peters eye studies and things like that.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, me too. But his eyes are so dark, and he has such a distinct, like defined shape. But in every one of his like roles and just him as a person, he has this sort of like melancholy look to his eyes. And I said, if I can capture that in a drawing, then I think that would be a success. So it's a cool way to practice, and you get to look at your favorite celebrities. So it's like a win-win.
So basically you're encouraging for me to find a picture of Aaron Tveit and study how to do the anatomy of his eyes, right? That's what you're encouraging. So yes.
To be honest, yeah, I mean, if you want to practice something over and over and not get bored, then you got to connect it with something that you love an unhealthy amount, like you and Aaron Devate.
Exactly. Or Hugh Jackman. He's
my God, you have a cutout right
office.
there.
I know. He sits on my desk next to all my things. Look at his beautiful eyes. Oh, I love
we should get some celebrity eye studies from you. We should.
We do. I think we definitely need that. But yeah, the other thing too is we have a anatomy lecture and slideshow. So if you don't want to sit through the slideshow, I mean the lecture part, you can just look at the slideshow, because the slideshow that I have has all kinds of diagrams that explain what is the structure of the upper eyelid, things like the whites of the eyes called the sclera. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it is very helpful to know some of that very basic anatomical stuff, because I think sometimes we look at something and we're not really sure what it is we're looking at. And then once you see, oh yes, eyes and eyeball, it kind of makes more sense. So that should be helpful for you guys. All right. By the way, if you would like to do something more ambitious, you can try the Art Dare Leap. That's where we're going to ask you to create 4 artworks, anything that has to do with eyes. And remember, everybody, it is so cool to see what everybody works on throughout the month. This past month was hopping. I mean, so many people doing the Art Dare this month, which was about drawing from life. And so I hope for you guys who are in there that it's inspiration for each other. Because Mia, I think it's not fun to be an artist by yourself.
No, I mean, that's when you get all the sad stuff out of your system. The sad works. I don't know. By your lonesome.
That was so dark.
Maybe I'm feeling I don't know. This is how I feel today.
Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty much how I feel every single day. So hang on the Discord, post your stuff, post ideas, ask questions, and we'll have a lot of fun. Now, remember on Instagram, you got to tag us. And this is an annoying new thing in Instagram that for some reason we can't search by recent posts. We can only do recent top posts. It's obnoxious. So don't just type our name into the text caption. You have to put an actual tag on it. So if you put an actual tag on it, we will see it. But if you just use the hashtag, it might be hard for us to find it. I know, I hate it. Or you can do an Instagram story. That is actually one of the best ways to make sure that we do see the work. So apologies if that's been a pain for everybody, but that's something we've had to deal with recently, which is really annoying. And if you are not on social media, if you want to enter, just go to artprof.org and you will see Art Dares in the menu bar. And if you go to the Art Dare page, you can see we do have a Google form that you guys can fill out. Join Mia in the Discord right after the stream. Hang out with us in the post live streams channel. We can talk more about eyes. And I think, Nancy, you might need another reference photo. So I'll dig up a few for you in the Discord to send to you of Activate. By the way, everybody, we have registration open for July and August workshops. We have several going on. Mushrooms workshop, Master Copies workshop, watercolor tricks and effects. Go to our website on the front page. You will find the listing of all of those workshops. And we still have spots open for the flowers workshop and also the acrylic painting workshop coming up. Oh, sorry, same slide. Join our Open Studios Club. This is a really fun, chill voice session. We get to make art together. I got so much work done. Like, Mia, do you ever feel like you don't deserve to paint? I don't know. Like, you're too busy.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I can't make anything else until I answer all my emails. And then I let myself paint as a reward.
Look at this. Wow. I'm so proud. Look, I did all this work during Open Studios Club. I did the bricks. And I did some of the stuff down here, and I did some of the, I was like really, really proud of myself.
That's amazing.
So that's what you get if you come to Open Studios. You get to hang out with us, and you don't have to go down a spiral of loneliness. You can hang out with us and talk about fun things and look at Aaron Devate's eyes. Well, I will. Remember, we have services. We have artist calls, artist statement editing, and portfolio critiques. Thank you so much to our amazing top Patreon supporters for your incredible support, making it possible for us to create this platform and keep it free for everybody. Art Prof has a podcast. It's available on Spotify and also on iTunes. And Gumby would like you to subscribe for more tutorials, critiques, and business tips. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.